everyone, good to see you again today. And today I am, for this video, the last video for today, I'm just doing some recommendations for things after Tigers Not Daughters by Samantha Mabry. So a couple of these books and things I'm recommending mostly books and like 3 series because I recommended these for different reasons. But here we go. Without further ado, the first 2 books I'm recommending, I'm mainly recommending for different reasons. But basically, the first one is called Here to Stay by Sarah Ferrison. Basically, we have, if I remember the plot correctly, it's this guy who gets like, who's basically something gets revealed about him. I can't remember the exact things, but it was very discriminatory and administration isn't having it. But basically there starts an entire investigation and things like that. The reason I'm mainly recommending this book is because I feel like this one has a lot of themes that were explored in this book. Granted, not well. I actually did not like this book. I think I gave it 2 stars. But I did do a better job than Tigers Not Daughters with a bunch of the themes. But it explored because I think it did give a better job. But basically, there are a bunch of themes being explored here, and it has an interesting like friendship and family dynamic, which Tigers Now Daughters I feel kind of explores mainly in family based because there's not a lot of talk about friendships, but it definitely, I think, explored that in a way. So I figured I would recommend it. The next one I'm recommending is Mexican White Boy by Matt de la Pena. This one is about this kid who ends up going to this town because in order to visit people, but also he ends up learning more about his own heritage and things like that. But this one also explores, again, a bunch of themes as well, including self-harm. So when reading, I would definitely be warned on that. But also, this one has a very similar writing style to a point to Tigers Not Daughters. This was written in the early 2000s. I think it was like, not even early, late 2000s. I think this was published in 2008. But it feels very similar in writing to Tigers Not Daughters. It also has very interesting family dynamics. So that's the main reason I recommended it. I'm recommending it to you guys now. So I thought, why not? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really have a good experience reading this book, and neither did I have a good experience reading Here to Stay. But again, reading, like everything else, is very subjective. So here we go. The next book is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is about a girl whose best friend kind of disappears. And now she's been gone for about a year, basically a while. And now her best friend is trying to talk to people, but nobody's telling her what's happening. And basically we watch as we read and follow her as she tries to solve the mystery as to what happened to her friend. This is a very interesting, a very good exploration of grief. It explores grief well, I think, and it gives it explored it so well. And I think this is something that Tigers Not Daughters attempted to do, but I don't think did very well. But this one did it excellently. So the exploration of grief is in this one. Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop by Casey Mcquisten. I recommend these for the family dynamic because there was a lot, especially in One Last Stop. There seemed to be like an expectation of things to happen, and yeah, I liked the family dynamic in both of those books. And I've talked about these, that I'm pretty sure you know the plot. But mostly, I'm pretty sure you mostly know the plot for Red, White, and Royal Blue. One Last Stop is getting mentioned, is gonna get in that form. But Red, White, and Royal Blue follows the love story, the romantic relationship between the First Son of America and the Prince of the UK. So we follow that, and we basically follow them as they as the we follow their relationship as they try to, because they were arch rivals, but then something happens and they have to basically fake a friendship, and from their relationship is developed, and we follow as their relationship as they try to hide it, but when it gets revealed, things get very interesting. One Last Stop follows our main character August, who meets this girl Jane in the train, and they end up forming a friendship that literally took to a relationship, but it turns out that Jane is someone literally displaced from the 1970s, and August is trying to get her back. I think these two books offer interesting family dynamics, explore expectations, as well as these themes that, again, are also somewhat like touched upon in Tigers Not Daughters, just not done as well. So that's another one. And the last two books are Again But Better and Better Together by Christine Riccio, also for family dynamic. And Again But Better follows Shane, who is who went on a study abroad trip by lying to her parents, and telling them that it was a pre-med, because that's what she was studying originally. And she meets this guy, and she's doing creative writing, but she meets this guy, and she meets him, and she starts to like him and everything. And eventually, though, that stuff is discovered, and she ends up having to go back to the US and starts studying pre-med again. But she gets a second chance to go back in time and redo everything and basically follow her dreams, which I loved so much. I think the family dynamic between Shane's parents was really interesting, and I liked the romance as well, and the friendship dynamics. So the dynamics of the characters were actually very good. And Better Together is Christine's newest book. But basically, it's we follow sisters. It's basically Parent Trap meeting Freaky Friday. But basically, we follow these two sisters who were separated at birth from by their parents, and they reconnect and this Rediscover Yourself retreat. And they end up doing this whole thing where they decide that they are going to change places to spend time with and confront their respective parents. And basically, they due to some fortuitous magic, they end up they literally show up looking like each other. So they end up living in each other's lives and attempting to meet their parents and meet the things that they left behind. So it was that they never got to see. Basically, it was a very interesting thing, and the family dynamic was phenomenal. So yeah, if you're up for family dynamics, this is the reason I would recommend it. The next 3 series I want to recommend, I actually only wrote 2 in this book, in this list of recommendations, but I realized that I can recommend another one. So the main 3 series I want to recommend are Violet Evergarden, Fruits Basket, and Oron High School Host Club. Violet Evergarden follows the our main character Violet as she ends, as the war ends, and she basically is, how do I explain? She's basically like, she has very little, she has no idea about emotions. She doesn't understand them. She's having a very hard time understanding any of it. So what ends up happening is she ends up becoming an auto memories doll, which is someone who ends up writing letters for other people. And she ends up doing that to understand the last three words that her major, which is the person that she reported to, said to her, which were, "I love you." And it's such an amazing series to watch because Violet Evergarden is like therapy. It's like therapy. I know that sounds odd, but it's just like therapy. And basically, it's like emotional therapy because you get to watch her go through all these emotions, and it's very cathartic in a way. But also, it does explore grief because although she doesn't understand what's happening, she did obviously really love the major. I think his name is Bougainvillea, but she really did love the major, and she really appreciated him and really wanted to do her best for this major. And it's very sad, but also very interesting to see the result of Violet's development. So I appreciate it, and I love how she quickly, how it transforms her life as much as she transforms other people's lives. So that is the reasons I'm recommending it. Fruits Basket follows Toru, our main character, who ends up meeting the Soma family, and she discovers their big secret, which is that they're part of the zodiac, of the Chinese zodiac animals, and if they're hugged by the opposite sex, they change into their respective zodiac animals. And this mainly explores a lot of different emotions. Like, I can't even begin to describe the amount of emotions that are explored in this series, in both the original and the remake. I started the remake and I never quite finished the remake, but I did watch the original, and I was extremely impressed by the way that both of these series, like I think the original, I mean, you don't need to watch the original to watch the remake of Fruits Basket, but watching them and comparing them, I feel like the original still holds up, and I love it because it gives something to compare, but it also, I get to watch both, and I'm going to do a comparison in this channel of both. When I'm gonna watch them, and I will be comparing them because it's really important to me that I do that. It's very important to me that I kind of just, I do something like that. So yeah. Anyway, but basically, no, yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful. So I am very, very happy with this one. I love the series. And then Ouran High School Host Club, you've kind of watched it, so I think you know what it's, well, if you've watched my reactions, you know exactly what it's about. But basically, we follow, what is her name? Why do I not remember her name? Oh, Haruhi, as she ends up bumping into the host club, and basically she very accidentally ends up breaking this vase that is 8 million yen. So she ends up having to work in the host club in order to pay that money back. And she ends up eventually, forming a friendship with them. And she ends up like really like forming this friendship, and really liking the way that, like, these people, and really connecting with them, and they end up connecting with her. The main reason I recommend it is because this book also does explore change, and I think that this that at the end, family, like, it also has the found family thing almost, because they're kind of, the host club is kind of like a family, and it's so cute. It's wonderful. It's like beauty and everything. You know what I mean? So I think that this book did a really good job when it came to, Ouran High School also did a really good job when it comes to, like, it explores many different themes like tigers not daughters, but I think this did a really good job in exploring especially dynamics, so, and family dynamics as well, because family dynamics are important, I feel. So I'm pretty happy with the result of this of the book. So due to that, I'm recommending that last. So let me know how you feel about these recommendations. Do you like them? Do you feel like middle about them? How do you feel about these recommendations? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear what you have to say about these recommendations, and how you feel about the about my recommendations in general. So no, yes, let me know, what recommendations do you have? If you have any recommendations, please feel free to let me know. I'm always looking for recommendations of things to watch, things to read, things to binge in general. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this stuff. So yeah, feel free to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I post pretty much at least once a week, and I would be very happy if you would also subscribe if you're interested in more content. Turn on notifications so you're aware the moment I upload. And if you have video suggestions or requests, feel free to contact me privately or comment down below. Contact me through social media, or you can contact me through my email, which is all in the description. I'll do my best to accommodate your suggestions into my schedule, but be aware that if there are any inappropriate messages, they will be ignored. So yeah, and with that, everyone, I will see you in my next video. Bye.